You think a cruise line makes money selling you the cruise. It barely does. That headline fare, the one that looks almost too cheap for a week at sea, all meals included, can come close to just covering the cost of the voyage. The real money starts the moment the ship leaves the dock and you're the only customer in the only marketplace for 1,000 miles. The drink, the excursion, the casino, the photo, the Wi-Fi, that's the business. Here's how it really works. The pitch is irresistible, and that's the first clue. A week in the Caribbean. A cabin, a bed made twice a day, a buffet that never closes, shows every night, a new port every morning, and a price that can undercut a week at a regular hotel. It looks like a travel package. You pay one fare, you get the trip. The cruise line keeps the difference between what you paid and what it cost to sail. And the ticket is the big, visible number, the one you compare across cruise lines when you book. So it feels like a ticket business. But think about what that ticket has to cover. A cruise ship is one of the most expensive machines ever built to carry people. A modern one can cost well over $1 billion to build. Then there's fuel for a vessel the size of a skyscraper laid on its side, a crew of thousands, food for everyone aboard, 3 meals a day, port fees, maintenance. To fill every cabin, the lines price the fare aggressively, sometimes barely above the cost of carrying you. And here's the brutal logic that drives it. The ship sails on a fixed date whether it's full or not. An empty cabin on that sailing is gone forever. It can never be sold again. So a cabin sold cheap is always better than a cabin sailed empty. The lines would rather drop the fare to almost nothing than leave a bed unsold. Which means the fare isn't really where the profit is. It's the cost of getting you aboard. The real question is what happens after the gangway closes. Here's the flip. The cruise lines tell you the answer in their own financial filings. They split their revenue into 2 lines. One is passenger ticket. The other is onboard and other, and that second line is enormous. For the major operators, onboard and other revenue commonly runs around 1/3 of total revenue. Drinks, shore excursions, the casino, photos, Wi-Fi, specialty restaurants, the spa, the shops. And here's why that line matters more than its size suggests. The ship is already sailing. The fuel is already burning. The crew is already paid. So when you buy a $15 cocktail or a $200 shore excursion or drop money in the casino, the cost to the cruise line of providing that next drink or that next hour of blackjack is small compared to what you pay. The fare carried the heavy, fixed cost of the voyage. The onboard spending is layered on top, at high margin. So the fare is close to break even, and the profit is the drink in your hand. The trip got you onto the ship. The ship is where the money is made. Now watch why this works so well at sea, better than almost anywhere on land. It's the captive audience. For the length of the voyage, the ship is the entire economy. You want a drink, it's the ship's bar at the ship's price. You want to see the ruins at the port. The excursion is sold by the line. You want to gamble, there's one casino, and it's theirs. The professional photographer who snaps you at dinner, that's the only photographer, and the prints are sold on board. Even staying connected costs money, because the Wi-Fi is theirs too. There's no competitor across the street, because there is no street. Every discretionary dollar you spend for a week funnels to one company. And the lines have learned to lock that spending in before you ever step aboard. Drink packages, beverage programs, pre-booked excursions, specialty dining plans, spa credits, onboard credit. Bought weeks ahead at booking, so the spending is committed before the trip even starts. Buy the unlimited drink package up front and you've paid to drink more, which is exactly the point. Prices on board are often set in a currency you stop counting. It all goes on a card linked to your room, no cash changes hands, and the bill arrives at the end of the week. Spending is frictionless by design, and friction is what normally makes you stop. That's why the fare can keep getting cheaper to win the booking. A cheap fare fills the cabin, a full ship is a full marketplace. And a captive marketplace, sailing on already paid for fuel, is where the margin lives. The big operators, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, all break out that onboard line in their filings because it's that central to the model. So stack it up. The fare is priced to fill the cabin and barely clears the cost of sailing you. The profit is the onboard wallet. The drinks, the excursions, the casino, the photos, the Wi-Fi, sold to a captive audience on a ship whose costs are already sunk. A cruise line isn't really selling you a voyage. It's selling you a cheap ticket into a floating marketplace where it's the only seller. Once you see this, You see the pattern across the whole economy: get the customer in the door cheap, then make the money on everything they buy once they're inside, and have nowhere else to go. We've now seen it 3 ways: the gas station, the movie theater, the cruise. The cheap headline is the bait, the captive spend is the business. Where the money really comes from is never where they point you.